Hey everyone, my name is Josh, and welcome back to your fourth stimulus package and news update. We have a lot of news to get into in today's video, but first, if you would like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull, valued all the way up to $2,300, make sure to claim them by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. Okay, so yesterday, as expected, House Democrats passed their massive social spending and climate bill. This, of course, is known as the Build Back Better Act. The vote passed by a narrow margin of 220 to 213, with the only Democrat voting against the bill being Jared Golden. According to Golden, he voted no because of a tax rule change that he believes to likely benefit the wealthy. In a statement, Golden said, "Many of my colleagues argue this major line item is worth accepting to pass the rest of the bill. I disagree. The solid giveaway in the Build Back Better Act is larger than the child care, pre-K, health care, or senior care provisions of the bill." Earlier in the month, Golden also expressed his displeasure of the child tax credit, the elimination of the SALT cap, and the lack of prescription drug pricing reform. Of course, Golden didn't rule out the possibility of voting in favor of the bill once it reaches the Senate, if it's amended in that chamber. Regardless, even without Jared Golden's vote, Democrats had enough votes to spare in order to pass the bill. Here is Nancy Pelosi at her press conference letting us know what the passage of this bill means.
Good morning, everyone, and a good morning it is. Today we have the honor of participating in passing legislation for the people to build back better, as I always say, with women, for the children. This occasion would not have been possible without the vision of our great president, President Biden. He has said that the infrastructure bill was very, very important, and we agree. But it was not the sum total of his vision for how we do build. And building back better meant building back with many more people participating, with environmental justice, with home health care. The list goes on and on. One thing I'm particularly excited about is family and medical leave, and that is a fight that we have always been engaged in for a long time. Steny and I and Kyron, we were here when the family and medical leave passed, unfunded, and now we have it funded. So for these and other reasons, as Mr. Hoyer said at the beginning of his remarks, we'll be telling our children and grandchildren that we were here this day. You were reminding me of St. Crispin's Day speech when you were saying that. And our distinguished whip, Mr. Kyron, talked about the 3 legs of the stool, the rescue package, the BIF, and now this bill being the infrastructure of our future. And of course, our distinguished chair of the Ways and Means Committee, who held down the fort for such a long time, but including last night, Mr. Neal, quoting Daniel Webster, and our responsibility to act. So for us, it's about not just about legislation, it's about values, and the values that this legislation represents for the people.
Also of note yesterday, as discussed in yesterday's video as well, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy broke Nancy Pelosi's record of the longest House floor speech ever, going well over 8 hours. Here is Nancy Pelosi's response for her record being broken.
I wanted to ask, first of all, you used to hold the record for the longest floor speech. How do you feel about that being broken, and do you plan to try to take that back?
No, I barely noticed, but that's not what we're here to talk about. This is about serious business here. Yes.
Another problem that surfaced on Thursday was the CBO score, which came back to say the bill would actually cost billions more than initially predicted by the White House. Here is Pelosi's response to how she feels about misrepresenting the facts to the American public after claiming the bill would cost $0.
$1 billion to want to take that? Let's just not present what the Republicans say as any fact that you're predicating a question on. I mean, understand what's happening around here, okay? Mr. Because you know these figures.
So they hung their hats on the issue of the IRS. We believe, according to the IRS commissioner, a Republican appointed by the former president, who said, by the way, that there could be up to $1 trillion that's hanging out there. He said that. We didn't say it. We subscribed to the $400 billion mark, which not only that commissioner, but the former commissioners have all subscribed to as well. An investment in software for better modeling at the IRS, an investment in allowing auditors to upgrade their own skills. Your chances of being audited over the EITC are now greater than your chances of being audited if you're paid in dividends and capital gains. And the last point, this is really important. If you are a working American, because of withholding taxes, we have north of 95% compliance in America. We should be proud of that. That means that people who get paid week to week with wages, they pay their share. The problem is in the upper echelons of the American economy now. Republican IRS commissioners and Democratic IRS commissioners, they all agree on that principle.
And in the legislation, they charge for the investment in training the IRS and hiring more people, but they don't weigh in the upside of what you get from that in terms of increased collection of taxes. And also, it's a deterrent because people will know that now there are more people looking at the tax returns at that high end with their high-priced lawyers. As the chairman said very clearly, you're more likely to be investigated if you're about an EITC, said, but earned income tax credit. These are low-income people in our country, don't have high-priced lawyers or phalanxes of them, and they get more audit than the wealthiest. Next question.
So the Democrats believe that due to hiring 87,000 new IRS agents, they'll be able to audit just enough of our tax returns to shake us down for the billions of dollars this bill will cost. So no problem, they say. The IRS will make sure American taxpayers pay, which means, unfortunately for us, those of us who can't afford to hire the best CPAs and accountants in the world, like the wealthy can of course, will end up being the ones most targeted. If you haven't noticed already, Republicans in general aren't particular fans of this bill. After all, not a single Republican in the House voted for it, and once it reaches the Senate, we can't expect for any Republican senators to vote in favor of it either. Here is Representative Lauren Boebert absolutely ripping into the Build Back Better package.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to my friend and the ranking member on the Budget Committee who has done an excellent job exposing these terrible schemes to the American people this Congress. Madam Speaker, America does not need and cannot afford this junk. America doesn't need 80,000 new IRS agents snooping in our private transactions. These are politically weaponized bureaucrat bullies that we are looking to hire more of. America cannot afford $1.5 trillion in new taxes while federal bureaucrats haul off and spend $4.1 billion on electric bicycles. Do they realize that this will use more fossil fuels, more petroleum products to create electric bicycles than a conventional bicycle? I don't think so, and I think they've lost their ever-loving minds. $7.8 billion for environmental justice going towards woke universities, $100 billion for amnesty workarounds as our southern border is completely invaded by nearly 2 million illegal aliens, many of them criminal aliens. There's $550 billion for Green New Deal policies and tax breaks so congressional members from the Bronx can afford a new Tesla.
Once the Senate returns from their Thanksgiving recess on the 29th of this month, they'll begin to take up the bill. From there, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will need to work with the progressive caucus of his party, led by Bernie Sanders, and the moderates such as Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Even though they'll be working off the House-passed bill, more than likely, many of the measures in the bill will need to be removed, reducing the bill closer to the $1 trillion mark. Other than that bill, Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer will need to work out some type of an agreement in regards to funding the government past December 3rd, in addition to raising the debt ceiling. Even though McConnell said the only way he would allow the debt ceiling to be raised is through reconciliation, Schumer and other Democrats have refused to do so. So lately, the two Senate leaders have been having discussions on the best ways to move forward. Okay, so next week should be a slow-moving news week, but starting the week of the 29th, we should begin to see just how smoothly negotiations go with the Build Back Better Act, in addition to, of course, funding the government past December 3rd and raising the debt ceiling. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, if you would like to receive a couple of free stocks from Webull, make sure to quickly claim them by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. To receive the first free stock, you will need to fully open an account, Then to receive the second free stock, which will be valued all the way up to $2,000, you'll need to make a qualifying deposit of at least $5. And even if you aren't all that interested in investing or continuing to invest at this point in time, you can always sell the free stocks you receive and transfer that money, however much they're worth, right back to your bank account. So free stocks or free money is completely up to you. So once again, I hope everyone has a great and safe rest of their day. If you did enjoy the content in today's video, I would be very, very happy if you would give this video a like, a big thumbs up. That does help out with the YouTube algorithm. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.